Okay, so with any luck, you guys can still see my screen with the test on it. And now I'm going to write the coefficient. So I have the terms written. Welcome to the test review, by the way. The coefficient for the x, in this case, is just the 4, because that's the number hanging out with the letter. And the coefficient's meaning is any number that has got a letter with it, a variable with it. The constant is 17. Okay, do you see where I wrote the 4 and the 17?
Yeah.
Yay, so it is working. All right. Now number 2. On to number 2, write this expression. 2 times r times r times r times r using exponents. So what I do is I use the base of 2 and r, and then I count how many r's there are. There are 4 r's. So then I'm going to put a teeny tiny 4 as the exponent, as the power. Okay, so that would be 2r to the 4th power. Okay, so then the next one says evaluate, which is a fancy way to say solve. Solve for x squared plus 1 when the x's value is going to be 6. So I will go 6 squared plus 1. Well, 6 squared is 36. 6 times 6. Add 1. So my answer here would be 37, my final answer. Okay, I like it when you box in or circle your answers, just because then it's super clear what you meant for your answer to be. Okay, this one says write the phrase as an expression, and it says 15 less than this number n. So that tells me it's going to be n subtract 15. 15 less than the quantity for n. Now, since I don't know the value of n, I can't go any further, and that is the expression they are telling me, n minus 15. Okay? Now the next one says simplify the expression. And when you look at this, it has the 12 and the x in parentheses. But according to one of our properties, I can move the parentheses. Which property is it that allows me to move the parentheses and still get the same answer? Parentheses can be moved.
Commutative? Oh no, associative.
Yep, associative. So because of the associative property, I can move my parentheses and it won't bother the answer at all. So when it says simplify the expression, it just means add together what you can. And the like terms are these two constants, the 10 and the 12. So we have 22 plus x. And since we don't know the value of x, they didn't tell us, and we don't have an equal sign, then that expression's as simple as it can get at 22 plus x. Okay? So there's that one. And then number 6 says, tell which property the statement 1.8 plus q equals q plus 1.8 illustrates. So the numbers have swapped places. Which property is that?
Commutative?
Yep. Commutative, property of, in this case, property of addition, right? Okay. Just hold a second. I need to answer my phone real quick. Sorry about that, you guys. Okay, so it says use the distributive property to simplify this expression. So when we use the distributive property, we distribute through the terms in the parentheses by multiplying, okay? And you have to distribute to all the terms inside the parentheses. So the first step then is to show that you're multiplying 3 times 9x minus, and then you show that you're multiplying 3 times the second term, which is 1. Well, 3 times 9, last I checked, is 27. keep the x there, and then 3 times 1 stays the same because of the identity property of multiplication, right? Okay, so then the next thing we're going to do is box in that answer. The expression 3 times quantity 9x minus 1 is distributed when you get 27x minus 3. So now we're going to combine some like terms. When you combine like terms, you always add or subtract the terms that have the same variable raised to the same power. So if you have 5x plus x, which means 1x, you end up with 6x because there's adding symbols, right? And then we have adding symbols by the 3 and the 4, the two constants in this expression. And so 3 and add 4 is 7, okay? So there is my answer for that one. Now, since I don't know the variable's value, I can't solve it any further than that. Okay, then the next one says, factor this expression. So that's the opposite of distributing, isn't it? Our last question, we distributed and got a question that has two terms, 6x plus 7. This guy has two terms in it, 16x plus 2, but they're telling us to factor it, which means I have to take the greatest common factor of those two numbers. In this case, it's 2, isn't it? 16x and 2. Between 16 and 2, 2 is my biggest factor they both have in common. So what is 16 divided by 2? Well, it's 8x. And 2 divided by 2 is 1. Okay, so that will be my factored expression. Now it looks like something we should distribute, doesn't it? Okay, the next two questions are decimal questions, okay? So if I have j equals 1.8 and I need to take 9.6 minus j, I'm going to line up my decimals, right? When you add or subtract decimals, you line them up and then do your adding or subtracting. 9.6 take away 1.8 should be 7.8. I hope I got that right. Okay, and when you do this kind of stuff out here, leave it there. The more of that stuff, the more mathematical thinking you leave on your paper, the better. Okay, it helps me know where you're working and where you have issues. Okay, so now my letter D, my variable D, is worth 5.2. And the expression says they want us to add 3.4 plus the D amount. So 3.4, and again, I'm adding decimals, so I want to line them up. Okay, so when I line them up, then I just drop that decimal straight down, and my answer should be 8.6. Okay, very good. Now on this next one, it says Claire earned 69 extra credit points. How many? 69, even if I can't say it. Damien earned E fewer extra credit points than Claire. Which expression shows how many extra credit points? Well, I didn't give you the expressions. You're just going to have to show me what the expression is. I'm going to have to edit this test. Okay, how many extra credit points? So I need to write an expression that says that. So Claire earned 69 extra credit points, and Damien earned fewer. So am I going to do E minus 69 or 69 minus E?
E minus 69.
Okay. Does everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so not this.
I agree with that.
Okay, so we take her extra credit points. She earned more than he did. Damien earned fewer. So we take this variable and we stick it behind the 69 and do some subtracting. Okay. Now, the next one, it says write an expression using exponents that represents the area of a triangle. I do want you to remember area of I said triangle, I meant square, sorry. Area equals length times width. For a square, it's actually area equals side length squared, right? Either way, you multiply this amount by this amount, okay? With a square, all the side lengths are the same. So if I have 4w times 4w, what do I really have? Well, you could answer it like this, because this is an expression that tells me how to solve that problem. Or you could write 16w squared, and that's an even better answer. Both of these answers, I'm going to count correct. Okay? Now, on the next one, it says that our x value is 6, and they want us to plug the 6 in here. 6 squared minus 6. Well, 6 times 6 is 36. Take away the 6, and my answer is going to be 30. Okay? And the reason why I can get all the way down to just a single number answer is because they gave us the variable amount. Then it says, you buy bananas and strawberries at the ratio of 2 to 5. Write an expression for the number of strawberries you buy when you buy n bananas. Okay? So let's think about that for a second. Oh shoot, I was going to do the modified test B, but I shared with you the modified test A. Oh well, I'll give you guys the test B. Some of you have already seen it. Okay? So which one stands for the bananas and which one stands for the strawberries? Well, they said bananas first, so the bananas, the 2 number. They said strawberries second, so strawberries is the 5 number, okay? And they want to know if you can write an expression for the number of strawberries you buy when you buy n bananas, okay? And that would be, well, we have to have strawberries on top, okay? So when you have strawberries on top, the other one's going to go on the back, on the bottom, I mean, and then you're going to multiply for the number. Okay, did they tell us how many n bananas? They didn't. So this is as close as you can get to being done with that expression. Okay, so when you look at yours, you're going to read it, figure out which one number stands for which one. Here, I'll color code it. So bananas were the first one listed, so they're the 2. Okay, we put the 2 on the bottom because they wanted to know about the strawberries. Okay, so the strawberry numbers go on the top. 5 divided by 2 times n will give us the expression we need. This one is a little more advanced. I don't expect, we didn't talk about these kinds of things. We didn't talk about ratios and expressions yet. So this one is actually going to be a little bit of extra credit and an optional one to answer. Okay, but now that I've showed you how to answer it, you will be able to do them, hopefully. So that is that. Are there any questions about what's going to be on the test tomorrow? Nope. Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys coming. I'm going to just take a little attendance here if I can figure out how. How would I do that? I go there, then I go here. Oh, 5 people. Okay. So we've got, I'm going to write this down. Okay. We have Aiden. Hi, Aiden. Avery. And Rylan. Has anybody seen anybody else pop on while we've been working?
I haven't.
Okay, so you 3 are going to get a little bit more extra credit than your average bear. I'm going to give the other kids 5 points, and I'll give you guys 7. Okay, so that means whatever you get, if you get 100% on the test, then you would have 7 extra credit points on top of that 107. Okay, so of course I'm going to get another phone call from my husband now, so I've got to answer that. Thank you guys for coming, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye, guys.